As the Union shifted from being the victorious army in the Ore War to becoming martial force of government, the citizens of that Union were required to make a great deal of sacrifice as the nation pushed for its manifest destiny. But they would not be alone in their sacrifices. It had become painfully clear to President Abraham Lincoln that their threats to this great nation that could not be fought with armies and machines. There was a shadow war being fought for the very soul of humanity. Lincoln refused to countenance the notion such a conflict could be ignored or allowed to resolve the fate of the Union. Lincoln knew he was best suited to lead the Union's efforts in the Shadow War, but could not do so with the trappings of the presidency, or the attention that even retirement would still bring him. Using the few agents that he could trust who had survived the Ore War, Lincoln plotted his own assassination. To that end, he also enlisted the help of the Booth brothers, patriots who were firm friends of his son Robert. These two actors truly believed in what the Union stood for and were ready to make the necessary sacrifice to help the nation achieve victory in the Shadow War. They would play their part in a massive public attack that would seemingly result in the president's death. Lincoln would then be free to assume more indirect control of the very defenses of the nation, while his vice president, Andrew Johnson, a capable bureaucrat with little to no imagination or drive, would be left as a figurehead to rule as president in his place. Knowing that his death was likely necessary for the ruse to succeed, John Booth, the younger of the brothers, made the sacrifice willingly. After the stage struggle, John's juice blaster roared within the confines of the private theater box containing Lincoln and his wife. When the smoke cleared, the nation reeled at the death of the president, with even his own family having to believe that he had died that night. John Booth was caught and killed by Union troops, while Lincoln would never be able to return to his private or public life. Again, Abraham Lincoln now leads the gifted professional killers that are necessary to end the Shadow War. This secret service conducts the infinite number of dark and dreadful deeds this dystopian age requires of the nation to survive. Lincoln knew that there were things the Union Army could not be called upon to do, whether it was investigating dangers to the wounded country, to ferret out plots and schemes that threatened her, or eliminate potential problems before the public could even be aware of them. Whatever it takes so that the good folk of the Union of Federated States can sleep soundly in their beds. While Lincoln prefers to lead from the field, he knows he can rely on Robert Pinkerton, his right-hand man. Pinkerton was already planning his own network of agents to defend the Union from domestic and foreign threats, but Lincoln showed him that there are threats even beyond these that require the Secret Service to thwart them. Lincoln had become aware of the concept of Mythos, and so had recruited Leah Kingston and Camilla Blanche. Both agents had scored highly on the extrasensory perception aptitude tests that the Bureau of Infernal Investigative Affairs had implemented across the Union's intelligence agencies. Complementing these uncanny operatives were his top agents from the Ore War, Lucinda Lovelace and Henry Courtright. Both had served the Union with great distinction, especially with their operation in Bucharest, had prevented the Russians and their Commonwealth from annexing the states of Washington and Oregon in the aftermath of the Ore War. It was the artificer Milo Jefferson that developed cold iron, a strontium iron alloy that demonstrated remarkable disruptive properties against arcane auras and other mythos-oriented phenomena. This has proven a vital tool in the Secret Service's arsenal, and with the right people, Lincoln believes the Union's manifest destiny will see them emerge as victors in the Shadow War.